Hello and good evening. You're watching AWANI Tonight with me, Hafiz Marzukhi. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has extended his highest congratulations to His Majesty Sultan Ibrahim, King of Malaysia, in conjunction with His Majesty's official birthday today. Anwar, on behalf of the Unity Government, prayed that the King, Queen and the entire royal family remain blessed with good health, prosperity and sovereignty. Cabinet ministers, through their respective social media sites, also prayed and expressed congratulations to His Majesty. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi and his family prayed that Sultan Ibrahim reigns with full sovereignty, long life and is always blessed by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof also prayed that His Majesty would continue to reign on the throne with greatness, sovereignty, prosperity and rule with justice and equity. Other than the Deputy Prime Ministers, Cabinet Ministers such as Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Datuk Seri Azalina Othman Said, Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil, Education Minister Fadilina Siddiq and Agriculture and Food Security Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Sabu also prayed that Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala bestows long-lasting health, prosperity on Their Majesties the King and the Queen as well as the entire royal family. The Works Ministry will emphasise on the adoption of the environmentally friendly drainage master plan to address issues in flood-prone urban areas as part of the government's ongoing effort to create disaster-resilient cities. Its Minister Datuk Seri Alexander Natalinggi says in this regard, the land use planning will be aligned with the master plan towards improving the drainage system to reduce major flood occurrence. In his address at the World Cities Summit or WCS opening plenary, Alexander said that disaster-resilient cities are a vital aspect of urban development, especially in countries prone to natural disasters such as Malaysia. Therefore, investments in resilient infrastructure and early warning systems, including community engagement, are key to building a city's capacity to withstand and recover from disasters. The minister said the government has also implemented various initiatives and policies to enhance resilience at the local level, including the Disaster Risk Reduction Strategic Plan developed by Kuala Lumpur City Hall that entails upgrading crucial infrastructure to withstand potential disasters. He added that under the purview of Works Ministry, the National Construction Plan 2030 was introduced as a 10-year policy formulated to mirror the ministry's full commitment in facilitating sector players to become more agile and competitive in developing a sustainable infrastructure. Alexander is in Singapore to lead the Malaysian delegation to the WCS and Asia Infrastructure Forum or AIF 2024 to be held for 3 days starting Monday. The biennial WCS is an exclusive platform for government leaders and industry experts to address livable and sustainable city challenges, share integrated urban solutions and forge new partnerships. Intervention measures have been used continuously to deal with the dropout of SPM candidates. Deputy Education Minister Wong Kah-Woh says the move is intended to create awareness in each candidate on the advantages of sitting for the examination. According to Kah-Woh, the effort has shown results where the number of candidates who did not sit for the exam has been reduced by 1.2% compared to the year before. On May 27th, Education Minister Fadilina Siddiq confirmed that MOE will carry out intervention to detect dropout candidates and give them the opportunity to register for SPM again. Earlier, a total of 10,160 out of 383,685 new SPM 2023 candidates were reported not to attend the examination. Meanwhile, Kah-Woh added that the intervention measures can also reduce the dropout problem on a larger scale if it gets full cooperation from all parties, including parents. When asked about the factors that caused the dropout prevalence, he acknowledged the influence of social media as one of the main causes of the problem. The Parallel Pathway Programme and possible amendments to existing laws will be brought to the Cabinet this week. Ipoh Timur MP Howard Lee Chuan Hao weighs in on the importance of facilitating the effectiveness of the Parallel Pathway alongside University Masters Programme to address shortage of surgeons here.
the amendment or the debate that led to the amendment does not mean negating trainers who have passed exams, who have fulfilled their logbook requirements. They've done their required time diligently with competent, practicing, life-saving surgeons under the highest form of apprenticeship called the parallel pathway, paid for by KKM, or the HLP by KKM, called the parallel pathway. Now, the reductive, exclusivistic, and I would even say monopolization of recognition and accreditation only to university master's program, cutting out the largest healthcare provider in the country, does not facilitate the national realities of our time. It frustrates and it hampers the qualification, operationalization, and getting surgeons in theatres treating patients. I think we have a job to do and we need to get the job done. If amending the Medical Act to get rid of the ambiguity is what we need to do to ensure both parallel and masters can work at maximum efficiency to accredit, to recognize, to qualify, to operationalize surgeons into theatres, saving Malaysian and human lives, I have a moral, democratic, and human duty to support. And I think the fundamental notion here is we do not want it to be exclusively KKM parallel pathway or masters by university. We need both, and it must be both.
Howard also outlined the situation in his constituency, emphasizing the need for more specialists in hospitals.
Many cardiothoracic patients, let's take that as one discipline, are having to travel to Serdang, to IJN, to Penang, and other hospitals with cardiothoracic services. And that's not fair. And one of the reasons why is because we don't have enough surgeons. And if we were to go to the national context of the entire country, I think we've heard this number being put around and bandied around, which I think is accurate. By 2030, we will probably need 17 to 20,000 specialists, which is we're far short of right now. We need an expansionary approach and policy to facilitate that, to facilitate faster, whilst remaining fastidious in getting more surgeons in theatres treating patients.
We'll go for a short break. Stay with us.
Alan buat apa kat sini? Dahlia, saya tak sangka yang takdir dapat temukan saya. Saya akan saman Cikgu N. Kita minta tolong dengan Alan.
Dapatkah mereka melupakan masa lalu?
Dia dulu betul lah Muhammad ni.
Oh dia?
Alan. Dan bekerjasama.
Ininya Alan gila-gilakan sangat.
Saya tak boleh hidup tanpa awak kan.
Cinta untuk sekali lagi. Isnin hingga Kamis, 10 malam di Astro Ria dan Astro Go.
Daulat Tuanku.
Welcome back. South Korea plans to suspend a 2018 military agreement aimed at easing tensions with the North after hundreds of trash balloons were sent across the border. The National Security Council says it will submit the plan for cabinet approval at a meeting on Tuesday. Since Tuesday, North Korea has sent nearly 1,000 balloons carrying bags of rubbish, including cigarette butts, batteries and fertilizer. But late on Sunday, Pyongyang announced it was halting its campaign after releasing what it said was 15 tons of waste paper. Seoul has called the actions a provocation and rejected Pyongyang's claim that it was only doing so to inconvenience its neighbor. Suspending the military agreement signed with the North would pave the way for the South to conduct training near the military border. It said the suspension would also allow it to take sufficient and immediate measures in response to North Korea's provocations, but did not elaborate. The pact, seen as the most substantive agreement to emerge from historic summits between the two Koreas in 2018, was largely scrapped when Pyongyang said last year it was no longer bound by it. Since then, the North has deployed troops and weapons to guard posts near the military demarcation line. The head and deputy of Indonesia's new capital city authority overseeing the $32 billion project have resigned. This comes ahead of President Joko Widodo's planned celebrations in the new capital, Nusantara, on the country's Independence Day on August 17th. In a surprise announcement from the State Palace, Jokowi appointed the Public Works and Housing Minister as well as Deputy Agrarian Minister as the acting head and deputy head respectively. The two officials were tasked with speeding up the construction of the new capital, but no reason was given for the resignations. However, the departures come amid a lack of private funding for the ambitious new capital, which is being built on a remote patch of Kalimantan. The government has been racing to build the infrastructure needed to move the first batch of 12,000 civil servants in September. But the plan has been delayed twice, raising doubts about the project. Nusantara is seen as an important legacy for Jokowi, who will step down in October this year after serving the maximum 2 terms. He is due to visit Nusantara on Tuesday to inaugurate several projects, including schools. Claudia Sheinbaum is set to become Mexico's first woman president following a landslide victory as indicated in the preliminary results. The 61-year-old former Mexico City mayor won around 58 to 60% of the votes, according to a rapid sample count by the country's electoral authority. The ruling coalition is also on track for a possible 2/3 supermajority in both houses of Congress. This would allow the coalition to pass constitutional reforms without the support of the opposition. Voters had flocked to polling stations across the Latin American country on Sunday in a contest dominated by women. It follows sporadic violence in areas dominated by drug cartels and a bloody electoral process that has seen more than 24 aspiring local politicians murdered. After the preliminary results were announced, Sheinbaum pledged to improve security in the nation. She vowed that her government would be fiscally responsible and respect the autonomy of the central bank. Heist action film The Experts garnered 10 million ringgit at the box office within 10 days of screening since May 23rd. The executive producer of The Experts and also the head of Astro, Raja Justina Raja Arshad, says the success was the result of the teamwork and the strong support from the audience. She added that they were very grateful for the extraordinary reception received by The Experts and hope the movie continues to win the hearts of the audience and strengthen the position of Malaysian films in competing with international films. The Experts is directed by Andre Chew and Nizam Shah and features performances from prominent local actors such as Dato' Aaron Aziz, Shafiq Kyle, Mimi Lana, Remy Ishak, Maya Karin, Tony Yusof, Wan Hanafisu, and many others. The film depicts a family of 5 siblings who had long abandoned their robbery activities but reunite due to a threat. They receive orders from the most dangerous gangster to carry out one more high-risk major heist. In the meantime, they are still haunted by old grudges from family tragedies and past misdeeds. That wraps up AWANI Tonight. I'm Hafiz Marzukhi. Thanks for watching and good night.